talk about later. These early houses were built end on to the streets and had long backyards with rubbish pits in them. It's not likely that they grew much food in the yards, but they probably kept animals there, such as those pigs you can see in the pen by the fence. From the many pig bones we found here, we know that Viking pigs were quite short and had a long snout like a wild boar. Pigs will eat almost anything, so it would have been a great way to turn household waste into meat. Here's the blacksmith's house. Look inside and you can see his wife by the fire. Rummy, the blacksmith, is teaching his son how to sharpen a knife he's just made. Viking age smiths were masters of their craft, and here in Jorvik they made everything from noodles to beautifully ornate pots. Now we go across to the next property and visit his neighbour, Hunny, a woodturner who lives in one of the new-style wooden plank buildings. Hunny is making cups and bowls by turning wood such as oak or ash with his pole railing. You can see all the wooden core waste from the ground, which children may have used as spoon tools. By the way, it's this trade that many think gave its name to Jorvik, the street of the cup makers. Another building is being built behind Hunny's house. Here, the cellar is being dug out and lined with old planks before the upper story is added. You can see a stack of turfs over there that are going to be used to roof this building. Looks like the builders are having a rest there.
Get back to work.
This family also look like they're taking a break. The children are being taught to play Nefertari by their grandfather. We found a wooden gaming board and lots of playing pieces here made from bone, wood and ivory, so it must have been a popular pastime. Let's go back towards the river where big trading ships are built that have come up from the North Sea. Here, traders are unloading their goods alongside fishermen cleaning their catch. Goods and raw materials from across Britain, as well as rare and valuable items from further afield, were brought into Jorvik here. Iron alloy bars from Britain alongside amber, sharpening stones and war recycle from Scandinavia, and good wine from the Rhineland. Jorvik was truly bustling, a vast international trade centre. Here's some fishermen cleaning their catch and mending their nets. Fish from the rivers and the sea were brought into Jorvik, and we found thousands of fish bones that tell us exactly what the people ate, which included lots of fish, eels, and even oysters. So these men are probably doing a roaring trade. Have a look at the man gutting the fish. His face has been reconstructed based on a skull that was found in Jorvik. Later on in our visit, you'll see more real faces like this. This next plot is a backyard where the people living here seem to have been dyeing their own cloth. The people of Jorvik spun fleece, then dyed and wove their own wool to make textiles from which they made their own clothes. Natural dye plants such as madder, weld, woad, and dyer's green were all used to create shades of red, yellow, blue, or green, vibrantly coloured clothes or certainly brightened up the streets of Jorvik. On this plot of land, there was a gully that contained dye-coloured waste, suggesting that a dye vat had been tipped into it. Limestone lined that ditch running up to this next building, forming a passageway to the back door. We are now entering one of the new style oak plank buildings. We're still discussing whether these buildings were 1 or 2-story, but they all had rooms or cellars below ground level. As we travel through this 2-roomed house, you can imagine that the floor at the back is being built, and you can see the cellar below where goods are stored. Above this sunken room, the window openings are only small, so, as you can see, it would have been quite dark inside these houses. In addition to the hearth, small pottery lamps and wax candles were used to create light so that the people who lived here could carry out their everyday tasks. In this front room, you can see a woman working at the loom, which was used to weave woolen cloth for clothing and blankets. We're now moving into Coppergate itself, an important commercial street right in the heart of the city of Jorvik. As you can see from these stalls, you can buy almost anything. Coppergate is just one of the many streets in this city, which was home to more than 10,000 people. The streets of the city of Jorvik are covered in filth and muck, rutted by cartwheels and with potholes everywhere. This leather worker seems to be having a problem sewing his shoe pieces together. He looks like he has Viking's disease, a Dupuytren's contracture. You can see it's caused the fingers on his hand to become clawed. It's a genetic disorder that runs in families, and seen particularly in middle-aged men. Tradition has it that it originated with the Vikings who spread it throughout Northern Europe and beyond as they traveled into marriage. This couple here are arguing about what to have for supper, meat or fish. It would seem that life hasn't changed too much over the last 1,000 years. They're arguing in Old Norse, and if you listen carefully, you can hear Old English, Middle Welsh, and Old Irish all being spoken in this street. Here's a food seller trying to sell this wealthy-looking woman cabbage of some sort. It doesn't look like the type of thing that would tempt her or her young baby. This woman looks like she's struggling to cross the road. We only found 2 complete skeletons in excavations here, and this one is based on one of them. You can see that she's walking with a crutch due to her hip problems and arthritis. You can find out more about her in the galleries to come. Here, we're in another of the new buildings. The first Vikings who came here were not Christians and worshipped their pagan Norse gods, but they seem to have adopted Christianity quite quickly. There is lots of evidence for there being a Viking-era church just behind Coppergate, and there were many other new churches built in Rome at this time. Here's a priest administering the last rites. He would always have worn a stole as seen here, as it marked his priestly status. We found a very small, silk, pink-coloured liquid pouch in one of the buildings. The embroidered cross on it suggests that it once held holy relics which have since disappeared and are now a mystery.
Rats.
Each property is separated from the next by woven wattled fences. We know from the 5 tons of animal bone found in the excavation that people's diet was quite similar to ours. Lots of beef, pork and mutton, as well as poultry and fish. Supplying this food may have been one of the reasons for the major changes in the countryside we see around Jorvik at this time. In this backyard, animals have been slaughtered to provide meat and other resources. Body parts of cattle must have been a fairly familiar sight and smell around Viking Age York. As well as supplying meat, cattle carcasses also provided horn and hide, both valuable resources for making everyday items. Stomach contents and cow dung were other byproducts of this slaughter. There must have been loads of flies, breeding in rubbish bins and dumps across the city. The red figure there on the fence had been a regular visitor, scavenging in the city, particularly in the backyard. Toilets had also been situated in the backyard. But in this year,
Try some prunes, mate. Prunes and porridge.
This man here doesn't look too happy to be disturbed, so perhaps we had better move on. In the excavation of the property, we found a few Viking Age musical instruments, including a set of panpipes which can still be played. Music, song, traditions that developed in Viking times. Norse mythology, which conjures up gods and monsters living in 9 realms, still captures the imagination today. And we can picture what it was like sitting around a hearth, enjoying tall tales of magic and bravery.